If you're a woman, your algorithm probably looks like this.
Sometimes I fucked them on the first date.
We do not need men.
I would leave my man if he lost all his money.
I'll cheat on him back if he cheat on me.
Men, our algorithms for some reason seem to be primed much differently.
You're just a bitch.
They gear towards the personal development side, how to walk, talk, make money, get jacked, improve your circumstance, stoicism. This is a massive generalization, I know, but if you were to ask most people, they would agree that this falls in those buckets for the most part. Why would they want to make one gender aim for self-improvement and make the other one aim for self-destruction? Hey, it's me from the future. Just want to say I love my life. Genesis shows the pattern. The serpent goes for Eve not because she's weak, but because she is the gate of life, motherhood, and the household. Mind you, Adam is not without fault here. He still failed to lead and protect. The woman was deceived and the man got passive. If you wanted to break society, you start by breaking the family. If you want to break the family, you go after the bond between man and woman. If you want to break that bond, you confuse women about marriage, sex, independence, and motherhood. Why would you attack women first? Because women shape what men pursue. If you change what women reward, you shape who men become. If women rewarded traits like leadership, discipline, responsibility, men would become that. But if women were somehow primed and trained to reward things like chaos, promiscuity, emotional manipulation, shallow attention, then no amount of male self-improvement content is going to fix the end result. That is the trap I want you to understand. The system tricks men into thinking they're leveling up, but then it trains the reward system, women, to value something completely different. This is a generalization and also a theory. There are plenty of good men out there, and there are also plenty of really good women out there as well. If you're a man and you happen to find yourself one of those women, the answer to all this is have as many babies with her as physically possible. So if you're a woman, your algorithm probably...
Man, that's a very solid point. Honestly, that video is very deep, and I think it is one of the most accurate videos I've ever seen that summarizes kind of what's happening in this generation. Like, when you look at, even when you watch shows like Love Island and you see how the women think versus how the men think, it is a very real depiction of how society is today. And I remember having this conversation. I've had multiple conversations like this with women in the past where I'll be like, I don't feel like you guys understand men, right? And I don't think you guys even care to understand men, because the algorithm and all they listen to is, I hate men, men are this, men are that, men are this, men are that, men are trash, I don't need a man. Like, the type of information and content that they receive is content that kind of makes them delusional and makes them feel like they don't need to understand what men require in them for them to commit to them. And I never understand why more women don't make this connection. For me personally, speaking as a guy, when I wanted to improve myself, the questions I was asking myself was, what do women find attractive, right? Not because you necessarily want to make them your reward system. And this is something I really want to speak to for guys, is like, part of a huge motivation to why we do things is women, right? But I don't think they should be the entirety of your reward system. Like, you have to find some sort of intrinsic value in just becoming a better person, right? It has to be something bigger than you. Like, what did God put me on this earth? This is what I did. It's like, okay, I want to become a better person for to become more attractive and to get more women. But at the same time, the Bible tells me to be productive, to be fruitful. And so me doing these things is just me following what God has called me to do. And so it doesn't matter if women necessarily reward me. I know intrinsically that I'm becoming a better person, right? And so for the average guy that is not necessarily making this connection and only sees women as the reward system, it can be dangerous, because you can do these things, and like he's saying, so women, if they are your main reward system, will not still reward you for this. They will reward you for the actual toxic things that you do. And I feel like my response to this video in terms of solution is, because I like to think of solutions. The solutions to this is that, yes, there is a disconnect, and I think the solution is for men to continue to become better and to not lower their standards. Because, and this might be controversial, but I saw a video saying, I think it was by Clinton Card, I don't know if you guys know him, but he said marriage is for women, not for men. And I agree with that to an extent. Largely, though, I agree to that largely, but only to an extent. And the reason I'm adding nuances there is because I think the Bible says that it's not good for a man to be alone, right? At the same time, if you really think about it, like men, they can go longer with pursuing success, pursuing fame, pursuing money. Like even when they're married, a guy will sacrifice time with his family in order to pursue those things if the reward is in the future going to be bigger than what he's sacrificing now. Like he's sacrificing time now for time in the future for his family, right? However, I've seen multiple studies. There was one by Forbes when I don't remember what it exactly was called, but it showed like the disparity in the choices that men versus women make when it comes to rising in career in the corporate world. Like a woman will have an opportunity to rise higher, but at some point she would be faced with choosing between family and that, and more often than not they would choose family, which is nothing wrong with that. That is an intrinsic thing in women. Women value connection. Women value community. They want to nurture. They want to raise kids, right? For the most part, right? But society today tells them they don't need that they should actually think like men and pursue the materialistic things. It's not necessarily materialistic thing, but they should pursue the things that men pursue. And somehow they've been convinced that those things will make them attractive to men, right? Which is coming back to the things that which is coming back to my thought process when I said women are not understanding what men value. Women will flaunt that they pay their own bills, they do this, they do that for themselves, and they make their own money, and think that somehow men care about those things. And when I say men don't care, it's not that they don't care that you're doing well for yourself. It's that is not what I'm looking for in a woman, because you expect me to do those things, and I'm putting it on myself to do those things anyway. That's just how I think it should be, right? But you thinking that that's what is going to impress me shows a disconnect in what you think men value. And I don't know why more women are not realizing this and saying, okay, this thought process has not gotten me the outcome I desired so far in terms of it scaring men away, because they'll say that it scares men away when you're it's not about scaring men away. It's that they just don't value those things. You might be high on those things, but those are not the things men value. You know, are you nice? Are you kind? Do you support him? Are you respectful? Like, those are like little things that I don't need to go too in depth on. But if you're not doing the work to understand what men value in a relationship, there will always be this disconnect. And so I want to go back to what I think is the solution. I think the solution is actually on men, because I heard him say women are the reward system. But I think that if you're a guy and you develop yourself and you work hard to improve, there's just an innate, thing in women that they will be attracted to you. No matter how many slogans or no matter how many I hate men videos they watch, there is an undeniable level of attraction that comes with a man who is complete. And even the women that maybe they don't like you, don't like your values, they will still be sexually attracted to you. I've seen this happen in my own life. Like, you can have girls that don't like you in terms of what you think, in terms of your values. There's an obvious disparity in what you guys think. You guys will not be compatible, but they will still be attracted to you. If more men can hold to their standard and be like, I'm leading with my values, and I'm leading with common sense, and I'm leading with compatibility, not attraction, I think more women will actually have to realize that these things that we feed ourselves on social media are not beneficial, and they're not getting us the outcome that we want. But if you have guys that work on themselves and improve themselves, and we see this all the time, you have a guy who works hard, who does it for the reward system that comes from women, who becomes jacked, who becomes rich, and then he gets with a girl that doesn't really like him, but can't see that, like, it ends up not working, because guys will do those things and then find a girl that they find super, super attractive and stop filtering through values and compatibility and just go based off attraction. And then they end up just looking like the guy that never worked on himself, never got rich, they just end up looking like simps. Like, you have all these things, but you can't discern that this girl is not with you because she actually likes you. That's what happens when guys, right, are still focused on solely women being the reward system. You should be thinking with your brain, and you should be thinking with vision for the future, not attraction. Because when you do that, they have no choice, and it's just you just makes your life easier. It's either she has no choice either to, like, if you do that and work on yourself, the girl that you're talking to or the women that you're talking to, they have no choice but to either get on your program or stay out of your life. Like, your life and your values become the filter, and it just makes everything more peaceful because you have a girl that comes super attractive, but obviously you guys don't align on values. That's the easiest way to just cut her off and not deal with any of the BS that comes with that. And it's up to her to figure out, why did this guy cut me out? I'm attractive, I'm this, I'm that, I make my own money. Well, that's up to her to figure out why you said no to her. Just like we have to figure out why women say no to us and improve ourselves, right? It's not on you, but filter women out. The more guys hold to that standard and filter women out this way, they have no choice, hopefully, but to either improve and get better and society heals, or if not, they leave the quality men to the actual quality women that exist that want to actually build healthy societies. And I think that's the actual solution. I think I rambled on a little bit, but like I said, I'm very solution based, and his analysis is so accurate in terms of what we feed each other and mindset wise. But I think the reason women feel emboldened to keep feeling like they can talk like the way they talk to men is because guys who have done work on themselves still reward this sort of women with the security, with the provision, even when they don't deserve it, because they have no ability to filter based on values and just go based off of attraction. And I think that's very, very dangerous for society. So if you take anything from this video is don't stop improving yourself because society has programmed one of the primary reward systems to not reward you for the good work you're doing. Don't stop doing the good work. Keep improving yourself and shift your focus from just getting better because of women to getting better because that is what God put you on this earth to do. Become a better man, help society, and just continue being fruitful. And I think if you live your life like that, even if society doesn't change, your own life will be more peaceful because you will automatically filter out the bad apples and the women that you don't even want to deal with anyway. And you will find the right one. There's as much as we talk about that, there will be a right one. There will be a good woman out there for you. So yeah.